What's up, bro?
I can't call it, man.
Alright.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna chop it up with you later.
All right, man. Yo, listen, what I'm about to get into right now is deep. So I hope you're ready for it. I want to talk about how men are afraid of a good man. Men are afraid of a good man. Because in many cases, a good man represents the things in which they are not actually doing. The things in which they have not done. And when a good man presents himself, other men feel like they need to guard their women. Even though the good man, the reason why he's called a good man is because he's not the type of man to take another person's woman. But in their own mind, he's competition. Because they know that they're not doing everything that they're supposed to do. So here comes this man who presents himself as accomplishing the things that they should be accomplishing. In other words, changing his life around, getting out of the ratchet ways and having new ways, new perspectives, wanting to get to know the woman, talk to her, listen to her, respect her opinion, things like that. Not arguing with her all the time about points that she makes that actually make sense, that actually matter, but make him look wrong. Not arguing with her about those points, but just admitting that he's wrong. This is the type of man that is competition to these other men. Some of the things that they might do. This is how a man becomes a gossip queen. He's not going to gossip about men that he feels like there's no competition for him. He's not going to gossip about men that he really feels like he's better than, for real. And that's crazy because he can have way more than this man as far as monetary things, as far as more women, you know what I'm saying? But yet still feel the reason to need to gossip about this other man, talk down with a bunch of people about this other man. Not only does he do that, but he has a tendency to get other men to gang up. Not only other men, but also other women. Just trying to get people to look at this person in a bad way, the way he looks at this person. Like, it's so important to him. It's so important that he might even make videos about this man. He might even do research about this man. It's crazy. Listen, and this is a real thing, right? In a society or a community or even a group, a large group, where there is no women, some of the men take on the characteristics of women. And in society and a large group where there is no men, some of the men take on the characteristics of the women. Now, the way intimidation works, right? It doesn't work in a way in which you would think that it normally works. We have normal intimidation, like somebody comes up to you and makes you feel like you are a sucker or something like that, and does it on purpose to humiliate you or do something to your credibility to try to take something away from you. That's normal intimidation. But you also have this hidden intimidation. This intimidation that comes from just what's in another person's mind. Something about what they lack or what they feel they lack and they see in another person, even though that other person is not trying to be a threat to them, has no intention of being a threat to them, or anything of that nature. This is a form of intimidation. This level of intimidation incites competition. This competition is not fair, because the other person doesn't even know that the other guy has started the competition with them. They might do little things like start to criticize the guy's accomplishments, the guy that's trying to be a good man. They'll do things to discredit this man. You know what I'm saying? Bullying and things like this go on. You know what I'm saying? Anything to downplay who this man is becoming or who this man is, because what he sees is everything that he's not. That's all that he sees. And what he sees is that his woman would like that. So then he goes on a mission to destroy that, instead of taking a blueprint and saying, well, I can learn from this dude. He's no threat, but he's a good example. Instead of doing that, that would be the mature thing. But as we know, most men are not mature. Maybe immature in certain areas, but I'm not going to say most men. Most people are mature in many areas, but common sense and emotional maturity, most people are not mature in emotional maturity. Most people are not. So when we see someone, because I've even experienced it, you know what I'm saying? I'm walking with my woman, you know what I mean? And I have fears and insecurities about what I'm not doing, and I see a man that's doing all of that. Sometimes it's the size, sometimes, you know what I mean, all these other things, because you know what most women say that they like. And it causes in you a questioning of yourself. Now you overcome that with your confidence and everything like that, and realizing your own self-value. But in a split second, the emotion can appear. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that you have to deal with. Many of us men don't deal with emotions well. So there comes the competition. There's the competition. And it's a messed up competition, because the other guy doesn't even know he's in competition. Behind his back, men are talking about him. Men are trying to degrade him. Men are trying to, act like his accomplishments aren't nothing. Men are talking about the way he raps, the way he sings, the way he dances, the way he looks, all these other type of things. Other men are calling him ugly, all types of things. You know what I mean? Most of the things that they're talking about are things that they cannot even do. You know what I'm saying? But they gravitate towards the men that think like them, so that they have an surety that everyone will laugh and make him feel good about himself. This is complete insecurity. Complete insecurity. And it's complete weakness. It's a complete weakness for somebody that says that he's a man. Now, this ain't about judging whether I'm that right man. What this is about is, what he's saying true? Is what he's saying true? That's what this is about. Is what he's saying making sense? That's what this is about. There's so much more I can say about this. So much more I can say about what is behind men competing against each other. But I'll tell you this, a lot of it has to do with insecurity of other men. And especially when a man changes his life. Listen, bro, they know. You know what I'm saying? Like when you when they come up to you and they start talking trash about their woman, that their woman don't even know that they like talk about her like this behind her back. When they come up and they talk about, basically bashing their women to make them feel good or to make them look like they're big shit or something like that. And they see you cut a side glance at them, or you don't laugh at what they're saying. At that point, they know you don't like them. Because I don't like men that are like that. And so therefore, those men, they never didn't like me, but they started not liking me because they knew that I didn't like them. They knew I wasn't with it. And once they do that one time, and you don't agree and fall in line with them, they feel like you're a threat. Because now, they thinking that you might tell their woman or expose them or something like that. You ain't thinking nothing like that. But they feel insecure now. Because they thinking like, I thought this is the way I'm supposed to be with all men. Nah. They ran into a man that ain't with that. So now they don't like that man. And every time they see that man, it bothers them. So now they start talking about that man. Trying to discredit that man and all this other type of stuff. Out of their own insecurities. And it'd be the same thing with women. But we're talking about men right now. And like I said, there's so much more I can say about this. But I just wanted to share this because we need to know, we need to see things clearly. You know what I'm saying? That's how you overcome. That's how you conquer. That's how you become a leader. That's how you become a warrior. That's how you get out of the mindset of being a follower of society. The way society views women. The way society expects a man to be and all this other type of stuff. That's how you escape that. You know what I'm saying? Stop competing against other men, especially if this man is supposed to be a good man. Understand that that man is not ever going to try to cross your boundaries with you and your woman. You don't have any reason to compete against him. If you see something that this man is doing that you know you should be doing, don't try to knock that man down. You know what I'm saying? Take the blueprint. What do you have to lose? Nobody knows how you feel anyway until you express it. We got to stop being weak because that's a weakness. I'm going to switch lanes. I read something. A woman put up a post on Facebook where she said something about, if you disrespect me, I can go further than you. Don't test me. And she thought that was a strength. That was a weakness. She just said the weakest thing. She's basically saying if somebody disrespects her, they have control over her. She has no control. That's so weak. We gotta stop being weak. A queen would just turn her nose down on those people that are trying to do that and be like, you are beneath me. Too beneath me for me to respond to that. As long as you don't put your hands on me. But not that woman. She thought she was strong. She sounded weak. We gotta stop being in our 40s and 50s and thinking that we need to go out there and fight people. Weak and immature. I'm just keeping it real. If there's anything that I said that is a benefit of someone, then it's because of God, not me. And if there's anything that I said that was wrong, then that's because of me and something I need to get on top of. Treat people good, give God his props, and be your authentic self regardless of what anybody thinks.